Hello, my name is Wegger. I was born in Austria in 1968. We are here in the very beautiful Castle Fischau from the 12th century. I'm having an art exhibition here right now. Acrylics, oil, charcoal, lacquer color, mixed media is what I work in. I enjoy the possibilities with all the different materials. My artwork had since the beginning, at a very early age, also a therapeutic aspect for me. Due to my mother's mental problems, I was locked in an apartment in the 10th district of Vienna. I got mentally and physically abused by her, and painting and drawing was a way for me to escape my fate. Artwork and handicrafts can have a meditative effect on one hand. On the other, it gives you a focus, something that seems to make sense. Through the change and improvement in this activity, my hope stayed alive that my whole life can change too. I remember as a child hearing on the radio a show where somebody mentioned that artists have a very free life. So pretty early I developed the wish to become an artist and live independently. So yeah, I was painting and drawing since very early age. Artistic activities were faithful companions already as a child. As a young man, I was very impressed by surreal art. Surreal artists such as Yves Tanguy, Max Ernst, or Giorgio de Chirico have impressed me or challenged me with their strange content. I particularly used to like the art of Salvador Dali. The creative moment gets very visual in his work. From artists like those, I have learned what creativity is. Since I was small, nature had a magic effect on me. I never stopped being excited like a 4-year-old about every animal until today. When I am in a stunning landscape, I get spiritual feelings. The more you know about nature, the more exciting it gets. And that's why I'm a realist. Mankind can create exciting things, but they will never reach nature in its complexity and creativity. We shouldn't even try. On this planet, where we are guests, there is so much to discover, big and small wonders. The strangest creatures in all colors and sizes have developed on the blue planet. That is what I want to show in my artwork. I want the beholder to fall in love with one or the other species and subsequently develop an interest for nature in general. I wish to show the diversity on planet Earth. Every weekend after leaving my mother as a teenager, I was outside, hiking, biking and swimming with my binocular, watching animals, plants and landscapes. I had a huge urge to get out in nature, under the blue sky, into the fresh air. Maybe because I was locked in my whole childhood. I'm also a birder. When you watch birds, you live in the moment. When birds seem to feel good, it makes me feel happy. Luckily, I live close by to a big lake in the Vienna forests. Almost every week, sometimes 2 times a week, I go there to watch birds with my binocular. So natural motifs were always present in my artwork. My fascination and my work grew together and my life turned continuously more harmonic as I got older. Luckily and joyfully, I have met many biologists with whom I spent time outside and learned a lot about plants, animals, connections, and symbiosis in nature. I gained a scientific view at our planet, and I believe in the findings of scientific research. Today, I see myself as a hobby biologist and an artist in one person. Those two grow more and more together. Everybody that watches nature with a loving eye does not get around the fact that we are damaging this fascinating blue planet right now at a high speed. So far that many species, including us, will maybe get extinct. The planet will recover, but if the human species will still exist in 500 years is very unsafe. Keeping in mind that we know today that the Homo sapiens exists at least since 300,000 years, and we are destroying ourselves in a few hundred years, is unbelievable. In my present life, I'm so much in the bubble of environmentalists, science, politics, especially in environmental protection. Species extinction is, of course, always present in my work since I am so impressed by the diversity in our environment. It is nice to get an insight on scientific work regarding environmental protection, but unfortunately you learn that it does not look good for many species, habitats, in general, the global ecological system. Many times my protagonists are looking for a direct eye contact with the beholder, as if they want to say, look at us, we also have a right to live here in our natural way. Two horrible facts. Number one, only 4% of all mammals are wild mammals. The rest are we and the mammals that we use for our needs, like livestock, pets, and so on. Number two, one forecast of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says that if we continue with our destructive lifestyle the way we do right now, humans will have a hard time to live in a broad belt around the equator by about the year 2070. Because of the heat and lack of water in this area, billions of people will be affected, and many of them will have to immigrate. Most of them will probably head to the north because there is more land mass and the prosperity is higher. Other influences on my work are Renaissance painters such as Peter Paul Rubens, Albrecht Dürer, Andrea del Sarto, Rembrandt van Rijn. I always admired them for their artistic skills. As a young man, I copied some of their work to improve my skills. Romantic artists such as John Constable and Joseph Mallord William Turner were also artistic role models in my 20s. Their dynamic and atmospheric views on nature have impressed me intensively. For many years, I tried to perfect photorealistic painting, not showing any brush strokes, confusing the eye. Is it a painting or a photograph? Were my challenges. After years to do so, it was quite hard for me to move away again from this form of presentation. Due to the wish to reduce my ecological footprint, I started to collect surfaces for which other people don't have a use anymore. Recycling art has become more and more important to me. Wooden panels, worthless paintings or prints, and all kinds of different surfaces. I use more frequently these days. I find empty frames, restore them, cut a wooden panel inside, and then I have to arrange my work with the frame. And I love that controversy. Especially wooden panels with their wooden grain and patina excite me. When you look at it, you can see the history of it. My main motive in an artwork, next to the piece of wood, create an exciting tension and start a conversation. At the same time, I avoid another piece of garbage that probably would get burned and create carbon dioxide emissions. Mostly in the summer months, I collect driftwood at the ocean or other natural waters. Sometimes I have to repair it a little bit in my way and then paint animals on it. Many times these harmless pieces of wood turn into humorous crocodiles, lizards or snakes. Today it is most of the times more important what I paint instead of how I paint. I still jump around in styles to a certain degree, but the content stays the same. My worship for nature, especially for animals, and my disappointment how we treat our environment. When paintings are standing around in the studio for years, it can happen that I work on them again because they get boring to me, or I have improved my skills or changed my philosophy. So I leave it more and more open in my mind if a painting is finished or not. With my artwork, I try to produce windows into nature. Finally, I want to say, protecting nature means protecting the human species, because we are only part of it. We are part of nature. We cannot escape the blue planet. Moving to Mars is a crazy fairy tale, nothing else. Humility, modesty, and thankfulness is what our species should practice much more quite urgently if we don't want to get extinct in the near future. But nevertheless, we have to stay positive, keep working out of moral reasons for the next generations. And don't forget to smile. Yeah.